Hello, beautiful family. God bless you. Welcome to the last video of the School of Honor. Today I want to talk to you about the greatest miracle I've ever experienced in my life. And it is something that happened the same way, through receiving divine instructions. One day, as I told you before, my pastor would put me to serve in different areas, and I never said no. And as I received the opportunity of being a translator in different areas, different places, with a lot of difficult moments and even interrupting a work day like I already shared with you, I learned, I was trained. And when other speakers would come in higher levels, they would allow me to translate for them. And I translated for Bishop Dennis Leonard, who would come to Puerto Vallarta in his private jet at least 3 times per year. And I remember one time, after we built a relationship with Bishop Dennis Leonard, he asked if I could come to Denver, Colorado, and to help him with his ministry. I obviously said no. I was not going to leave my church. I was not going to leave my pastor. I loved living in Mexico. I never even had the smallest desire to move to the United States. I really loved my city, and I had a great job at Four Seasons, now with a part-time and making the same money. But in that moment, I thought, how could he ever even ask me that? So I went to church, and a few days later, my pastor sat me down after a service. Everybody was gone. We were just sitting there. And he said, so I heard that Bishop Dennis Leonard asked you to move to Denver. And I said, can you believe that, Pastor? That he would ask me that. I said, don't worry, sir. I said, no, I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere. He said, well, I really think you should. And I was shocked. I said, excuse me? He said, well, I think we need to experiment this opportunity. What if it's God? How would we know unless we experiment? So I said yes. I had no idea where I was going to live. I had no idea how much money I was going to make. I did not have papers to live in the United States. But I said yes anyway. And I did not even ask questions of where I was going to be or how I was going to survive. I just said yes. And a couple weeks later, I moved permanently from my beautiful Mexico to Denver, Colorado, from the beach to the snow. And when I got there, they tried to get me papers, and they were working on a religious visa for me. And the lawyer asked me why was my last name Sweet, and I explained that I grew up without a father, that he's an American, but I had no relationship with him and had never met him before. So they said, well, that's too hard. Let's just continue with a religious visa for you. So then another pastor in the church found out why my last name was Sweet, and found out that I did not know my dad, and came to me and said, I would like to try to help you find your father. Just give me all his information, like his birth date, address, where he was born, where he lives, social security number, when he met your mom, all of that. And I said, I don't have any information except his name, Sam John Sweet. That's all I have. He said, well, that's hard. I said, yes, it is. He said, but I want to try. I said, okay, go right at it. I had zero expectation because I had already given up on that dream. A few days later, he came back with a long list of names. And he said, look at all of the matching names that match your father. I said, that's a lot of names. I thought Sweet was not a very common last name. I guess I was wrong. He said, well, I want you to pay attention to this one. He said, this address is very close to this building. And I said, wait a minute. Are you telling me that my dad could be in this city, close to this building? He said, yes. And it's worth going to check it out. So I did. on a Sunday after church, I went to that address, 10 minutes away from church, 10 minutes away from that building. I ring the bell, and here comes a man that looked exactly like me. And he was shocked. His hand started to shake. And I asked him, and I said, "Sir, are you Sam Sweet?" And he said, "No, no, 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 no. I am Sam Jones." He was very nervous. He knew who I was. And I said, "Really? You're not Sam Sweet?" He said, "No, no, no, no. I am Sam Jones." I said, "Okay, well, thank you so much and have a great night." But I went to the neighbors. And I rang the bell, and here comes a lady. And I asked her, "Ma'am, who lives in that house over there?" And she said, "Oh, that's Sam Sweet's house." I said, "Oh, well, thank you so much. I just wanted to know." As I was walking to the car, pretty disappointed, the Lord spoke to me and said, "I'm not done." So I went back to the door, and my father was still standing there, behind the screen door. And I came closer, and I said, "Are you my dad?" And he looked at me and said, "Yes, I am." I said, "I am not here to ask you for a thing. I am not here to ask you any questions. I am here to ask you for the opportunity to love you for the rest of your life. Jesus has taken care of me. I'm okay. I just want to love on you. So can you come and give me my first kiss and my first hug in 27 years?" And he came, and we hugged and kissed for a long time, and we started a great relationship until he went to be with the Lord. What am I saying, family? I'm saying that your dreams, miracles, are behind opportunities, instructions that you receive from the Lord. And I encourage you to listen to the people that God has placed over you, to teach you the word, to build your faith, and even to give you instructions, because God can use people to take you from where you are now to where you will experience the most amazing miracles of your lifetime. So family, I encourage you, listen. Thank you so much for being here in these 31 days. And we're going to start a new devotional. I think you're going to like it. And right now, I just want to say thank you. And if this devotional was a blessing to you, and if you would like to sow a seed, you can by going to PayPal or Zelle. The email is pastoranna@wisdomforwinningchurch.tv, or you can sow through Cash App, Wisdom #4 Winning. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.